Hello everyone, my name is Katie Schreiber. This is for my Nature of Intellectual Inquiry class, so let's get started. So we will be talking about the Enlightenment movement and how it has impacted contemporary science and research practices today. So before the Enlightenment period, there were the Dark Ages, where knowledge was very restricted to the rich and powerful, not available to the general public, and it wasn't really written down, and even if it was not given. People couldn't read it. Literacy rates were very low, and knowledge was not as readily available as it is today. Enlightenment wanted to spread this knowledge to the common people and wanted everybody to have this knowledge because it believed that everyone was capable of reason and logic. Rationalism was very important during this. Empiricism was also still present, but during Enlightenment, rationalism was the main focus. So during rationalism was like human reason, logic, and then empiricism was let's focus on our senses. Our senses are how we gain our logic. Rationalism, once again, thought that was innate. We just had that. Pardon me. During Enlightenment, people did not really trust authority figures for good reason. If somebody was like, I'm not gonna let you learn at all, I wouldn't really like that either, I wouldn't trust them at all. And because of this, they wanted to share the knowledge with everyone. They didn't want just the authority figures to have the knowledge with everyone. This is something that we do see in modern research nowadays. Everyone has access to knowledge. There's no lock, there's no key, there's no special password that only one person has. Everybody has the ability to have it, and if we don't understand it, then we can ask someone. Research databases, as we all know in this class, we have done our deep dives into the research databases. We have access to that information. Anybody can. All they have to do is a quick Google search, which most people know how to do. Most people know how to read the information, maybe not understand it, but then there's also access like, hey, let me email a professor, let me talk to a librarian, let me find a book about this thing so I can try to understand this paper. And it's just very open and everywhere. So sorry. Today's not been a good day, but it's okay. I will move on to the second question. So sorry. Okay. The second question is, do you believe that Kant's categorical imperative can apply to current scientific research? So to begin, Kant's categorical imperative said two things. When researching, one must act in a way that you imagine would be universal law. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really understand what this is, so I wrote down a dumb definition for myself, which universal law is basically something that the average person would not consider irrational or immoral. I feel like this can be very subjective about certain things, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, and the second part of his categorical imperative was that researchers need to always treat humans as an ends and not the instruments or the means. So basically, don't harm your participants in order to get at a goal of yours, Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That was very right there with it. Sorry. I do think that this applies to research today, absolutely. Pardon me. An example of this I would said was the Hippocratic Oath. I know, what does that have to do with research? But here with me here. In order to, as I said, in my opinion, universal law is kind of subjective. So the Hippocratic Oath basically gives like things, do no harm. It's another thing. Patient confidentiality. There's another thing that I can't think of. I'm not gonna redo this. I'm really sorry. Do no harm. And I think just in research having that, which I know there is something like that as well, I just don't know the name of it. Having that clear cut, not wishy-washy, I feel like that's very important. I know we have that today. So just having that is very good for our research. And then obviously, if you're gonna hurt humans to help humans, it's kind of like a double negative. You're just at zero, We want to be positive. We don't want to be negative. We don't want to be in the neutral. For example, human test subjects, if you're making a vaccine and you test it on humans and those humans end up dying, how many did you really save? Stuff like that. Okay, that was the sort of presentation. I'm very sorry. It has been a wild day. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful evening. It is evening. Thank you.